going to preface this with, this is not an original idea for YouTube. Netbug did this before me, and Fazooker did it before her. But neither of these series have gotten an update in years, and I'm a different person with a different perspective and a different idea of what's important in an episode. Also, I have access to the HD clips. Woohoo, let's go! As you can see, I've gone through an entire rebranding for this. Formless Monkeys now instead of Flowey Fan Club. And I really just want to jump right into this. And what better way to introduce this topic than with the first episode in the series, the one meant to introduce the entire series. Today we're taking a look at Chiro's Girl, episode 1 of season 1. The episode opens with one of the best first scenes I've ever seen.
I know this looks bad, team! But the super robot must be clean!
And highlights one of the biggest things about this show. Contrasting tone. This entire series is pretty adorable with bright, bubbly color palettes and characters and adorable moments in between monkeys that are only 1.5 feet tall. But it also gets into some darker existential stuff like what is sentience? Do robots have souls? How do we stop the death of the universe? It might not have been on purpose, but the first scene in the show perfectly demonstrates that. Now, minutes into the episode, our main character, Chiro, meets a girl named Jin Mei. They become fast friends over their shared interest in monkeys, Chiro because he lives with 5 of them, and Jin Mei because she has a cute little monkey named Sako. They even develop cute little crushes on each other. How cute! They spend the day together in a series of adorable dates. But it leads us to our moral of the episode. Almost every episode has a lesson, or moral, as I'll be calling it, that they're trying to teach the audience, and by extension, either the monkeys, Chiro, or both. Some episodes can't help but hammer this into your skull, but others are a little more subtle about it. This episode's moral is, friends don't keep secrets from each other. Hey, isn't that moral, ignored by the monkeys in episode... That secret was about a bunch of traumatic stuff. I think they get a pass for not talking about it because it clearly brought them a lot of pain! Anyway. It's not super nuanced or subtle, but it doesn't get in the way of the episode's main job, which is introducing the characters, the setting, and the universe in general. Chiro and Jin Mei's date, where they stare longingly into each other's eyes for way too long, distracts Chiro from his main duties of protector of Shugazum. The rest of the team is wondering where Chiro is when suddenly the city is under attack. They're being attacked by the Formless. Love these guys. Because Chiro isn't there, too busy being distracted by a cute girl, they have to resort to hand-to-hand combat.
Monkey team, go! Energy surge!
Is an amazing way.
Magno-Bolt laser!
To show off how cool these monkeys are. Oh my gosh. Look at this. The battle also introduces Skeleton King through TV Monster. Skeleton King is one of the best villains I've ever seen in any form of media ever, but that might just be nostalgia talking. He's genuinely threatening, he's got a valid reason to stay out of Shugazum himself, and he's got a very, very sad reason why he does the villain self-sabotage. But Skeleton King as a villain is in-depth enough for me to make an entire own video for him. So I will, later. The monkeys get their ample opportunity to show off how amazing and cool they are in their different fighting styles and quite a bit of their personalities. But they're ultimately overwhelmed. They need Chiro's help. Chiro's too busy staring into Jin Mei's eyes to even notice that the city's under attack. Until Sako bites him in the face. Thanks, little guy. Sako is a weird character, but we'll get into him later. Finally noticing the destruction all around him, Chiro goes into superhero mode. Or as most people call it, hyper mode. I actually really love this little sequence here. I love a lot of the repeated sequences in this show. He's all extra cool now, and now he's showing off for his little girlfriend. The battle is won and Chiro once again abandons the team to go hang out with Jin Mei. This time the team gives Chiro a little bit of a talking to. It wonderfully highlights Chiro's relationship with the rest of the team. They are basically his parents. Which is why they're so distressed about Chiro not telling them where he is. Any parent would be reasonably distressed if they can't find their kid during a dangerous situation or when they're supposed to be doing their job. And for Chiro, it's both. The dangerous situation is his job. But there's no time to punish Chiro properly for his little secret because Jin Mei is also coming over. She's already over. And she also brought Sako. Which, going along with a theme of introducing things in the first episode, introduces one of my favorite little gimmicks of the whole series.
Do not call me Mr. or Hal, just Gibson, please.
I am best known as Antari, second in command of...
Humans besides Chiro can't understand the monkeys. While lore-wise it explains a few things about the monkeys, like why they're so reclusive and why no human has ever set foot in the robot besides Chiro, but it's really funny. Not only does it introduce my favorite gimmick, it introduces the main monkeys. The episode has already been doing this. Besides the theme, this is the only time where they're ever individually introduced. And the way they introduce themselves gives a little snippet of their personality. Most moments in this show are like this, where every single second is drenched in their personalities, which I love. Oh, Sako went off to go do something. I wonder what he's doing. It's probably nothing important or evil or bad. Turns out Sako is a little scoundrel and Mary Jane's in a bow. And Chiro is mad. Jin Mei's the one who brought him in there after all. I'm gonna be honest, I think this scene foreshadows Chiro's body count. Smash cut to Sako talking to Skeleton King in a German accent.
Sako? You can talk?
Come in, Jin Mei, come in. There is someone I would like you to meet.
I love this show. Skeleton King introduces phase 2 of his plan, and it also introduces one of the mysteries of the show that never gets solved. Jin Mei is a robot, and Skeleton King supposedly found her floating in the depths of space and then wiped her memory. We don't know anything about Jin Mei's backstory beyond that. As a theorist, this makes me angry because it leaves me nothing but breadcrumbs. As a fanfic writer, I love this because it gives me breadcrumbs. That one can turn into delicious bread, or meatballs, or something. I don't know, the metaphor is starting to fall apart. Anyway, phase 2 of Skeleton King's plan involves taking Jin Mei and making her attack the super robot. Luckily for her, she has a giant mode. She can be a giant robot and fight a giant robot. It's so cool. It's so cool. I love the fight scenes in this show. And she even has the upper hand. I mean, until Chiro activates his amazing heart powers. Now, these aren't magic powers like most of Chiro's other powers. They're real powers. Chiro exits hyper mode and just shows Jin Mei that he cares about her. He cares about her when she's a giant monster. He cares about her even when her deepest secret is on display. It's enough to make her stop and enough to reveal her weak point. Which is Sako. Sako is the weak point. He's piloting her like a mech. While Sako ends up escaping, Jin Mei is released from his control. It's a very soft and happy ending. Chiro and Jin Mei share a heartfelt goodbye as Jin Mei goes off to find out where she came from, and Chiro is just happy that they were able to meet. That's all fine and dandy. Now let's look at how absolutely terrible Skeleton King is.
All I ask my king is one more opportunity.
You've had your chance. I won't trust you with another.
No. No, not that. No!
Oh, I almost forgot.
This scene goes a little deeper than just being freaky, with a freaky box and a chain and ripping out Sako's eye. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a fun fact about the history of monkeys, especially their role in fairgrounds and circuses. A lot of monkeys were trained to collect donations while holding out an adorable little cup while wearing adorable little outfits. And the most famous depiction of this is of a monkey and his music-playing trainer. What's the music box called? An organ grinder! Skeleton King chained Sako to a living organ grinder and ripped out his eye. That's why Pop Goes the Weasel plays in the background and why Sako is reasonably scared. It's likely what his job was before Skeleton King. We don't know, though. The whole episode is a great start to the series. By no means am I an unbiased opinion on this. This is literally my only interest, but I think it's really good. I enjoy every time I watch the episode when introducing the show to other people. And I'll watch it many, many more times just on my own time. I hope it did a good job of introducing the basic concepts in my series as well, where I both try to summarize the episode in half the time it takes to watch it, and shed more light on details that I find important to the lore or to the characters and the story. If you made it this far, I'd like to say thank you. Most people wouldn't sit down for 11 minutes and listen to someone talk about their special interest. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.